Mike the Ref Maloney, Big Bad Boris on the call here tonight. It's
Let's go! Let's go!
Third! Super Kick Party! Yeah, pay the money for that. No one. And of course, you gotta get the coffin spin. Hey, yo, and away we go. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Mike the Ref here with our weekly, I was going to say annually, but, you know, weirder things have happened here with our AEW Dynamite Sidecast here. It's going to be a fun night of action. It is the go-home show to the Revolution pay-per-view this Sunday, and it looks like we got a good chunk of the card set, but it also seems like we have a lot less matches than we normally do on it. Unless something else comes up here. Looking at, we're going to hear from Adam Page here tonight on his status of being part of the world title match. We got FTR and the BCC going to go at it, but tonight it's going to be trios, throwing a little Eddie Kingston and a Bryan Danielson in there, so that's going to be a banger of a match. Big thing for tonight, the highlight of the night, according to everything that's showing up on the graphic, is that we're getting Sting's last Dynamite here tonight. So, well, it'll probably be a promo segment between Sting, Darby, and the Bucks, just talking about, you know, what's going to happen and what's coming up and whatnot. But we're getting also Kris Statlander and Skye Blue, so maybe they're going to try and set something up for another women's match. I don't know. Like, we have Toni Storm and Deonna Purrazzo in our back pocket, and they played it out last week, and everybody wants to see it, so they're not going to have to do much to play it off. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where they go here tonight. The only other match so far advertised is Orange Cassidy defending the International Championship against Nick Wayne, of all people. So maybe they're going to have two titles in the patriarchy before Revolution here. So that's talking about two matches that they got set up with Orange Cassidy and Roderick Strong at the pay-per-view, as well as Christian Cage and Daniel Garcia. So I got a feeling we're going to see both of them involved in that match. But yeah, personally wise, first day of holidays today. So let's try to take it somewhat easy today. I'm going to start wrapping things up for some other work to do tomorrow. Want to get some stream stuff cleaned up here. Working on a few new projects for you guys. And hoping you guys are going to enjoy some of the new stuff that we're going to have going on here. And just try to make things better for everybody here. So, other than that, looking forward to everything coming up this week here. This Friday and Saturday, we're looking at having 2 days in a row the Backbreaker Fight Club. One to cover beating up John Cena, which, you know, is a foregone habit that we should be getting into here. Now the Peacemaker is in the game. And then on Saturday, we have Ed in Street Fighter 6. We haven't had a chance to play him yet, so I'm really looking forward to see what's going to happen there. I really do hope that, from all accounts it's come down, it seems Ed is playing very well, and he's going to be a very strong character to use, so hopefully that'll turn out to be a positive thing going on here. So tomorrow we're going to get back into Suicide Squad. I think tomorrow's going to be the last day one way or the other. If they fix the bugs, we should be able to finish it. If they haven't fixed the bugs, what's the point? We're not going to slog through it. If anything, I might do it as offline content, put it up on our YouTube page, but because we got to get ready, because starting on Monday, we're doing Tears of the Kingdom. And starting next weekend, once again, I'll throw the ad up here again. We're going to be doing Dynamite and Collision 2 times a week. I actually have to sign up for TSN after we're done here tonight. And then immediately following, we're going to be doing WWE 2K24 GM mode which I got a chance to watch a couple preview videos up here on YouTube for the potential what's going to be going on here, and I'm really excited. I really am excited for this. The way we'll be playing it, some of the additions that were added were ECW. Unfortunately, the bad side of it is the fact that we're not going to be able to use ECW because I want a women's division. And unfortunately, since ECW didn't have a women's championship, they're not going to have one in the game. So ECW is going to be a specific men's brand, and that's it. They got NXT, NXT 2.0, Raw, SmackDown, and WCW. So the other points that they have in there are there's less emphasis on styles making fights, more popularity, less style. So like last year, one of our biggest problems was the fact that you had to do a bruiser with a fighter and a lightweight with a giant, a cruiserweight with a giant. This year, you're not going to have to worry about that as much. It is going to be a factor, but not as much as you normally would be. They've improved that. They've also improved the logistics part of it, that once you set up and once you unlock certain logistics, they're already going to be guaranteed locked in for you. You don't have to go back in and redo them every time. Because if you forget 1 week, you're screwed. The other thing I like about it, and we're going to try it out, the match types. There are 4 new match types that are involved here. There's special guest referee, there's ambulance match, casket match, and off the top of my head, I can't remember what the 4th one is, but there is a 4th one there. But the thing is, you have to unlock them. Like, you have to do certain tasks in order to get to those matches. So, as far as I'm concerned, that's an absolute plus for me. So, we're going to work our way through it. We're going to earn our way. We'll probably do 4 brands. And since we're only allowed to watch one, we can put as many as we want. But I think 4 brands just to see how much we're really going to stack up against everybody else. So, it's going to be a fun time. It's going to be a chance for us to talk wrestling after wrestling. So things will be a lot of fun there and able to enjoy it. So make sure you plan to stick around after Dynamite and Collision here starting on the 9th. We're going to be here on the 3rd, of course. Unfortunately, the game doesn't release till the 8th. Or we're going to be here on the 6th, sorry. So, got to get my days straight here. The 3rd is Sunday. The plan is right now for me to be here for a Sidecast this Sunday here. So, I'll let you guys know on social media if things change. But as of right now, it looks like I'm going to be here for a Sidecast on Saturday. I haven't heard from our sponsors, so... And honestly, I love hanging out with you guys. It's always a fun time here as we get chatting during the pay-per-views and during the weekly Dynamites as we go along here. As the pyro's going crazy. So they're in Huntsville, Alabama. So deep south. A lot of thank you stings in the crowd. I like that. It's almost weird to wonder what it's really going to be like having Sting here. Okay, so we're bringing out Hangman off the bat here. He's going to tell us his injury update after last week, which we found out was we'll see what this boot looks like. He's walking way too... You see the lower third there? Not looking good. So I wonder how many people right now are writing up saying everybody was wrong about the reports that the injury was staged. I wonder if this is actually a real one or not. The way he's walking is somewhat not crutch inducive. Okay. Huntsville, Alabama, home of the Rocket City Trash Pandas, AA affiliate of the Angels, and also one of the greatest teams in the Electric Show League last year. How you doing, Jaeger? Hope you're doing well today. Got the title, didn't get any fans to watch it. The crutch isn't even set properly. If he is hurt, it's not his ankle. Cowboy boots and a bad ankle wouldn't feel great. That's exactly what... Yeah, that crutch isn't even under his armpit. He does wrestle in cowboy boots, though, so he does have the special heel on the boot. You knew this was coming. Swerve's gonna all right, well, I never knew I was gonna get my calisthenics in early here. We're gonna swerve when I drive, and I'm gonna have a fun because the ankle's in the sun, and we're not gonna have any match because he's gonna get a big fat patch, and yeah, never mind. I gotta come up with these ahead of time. I love the Scrooge McDuck outfit on Nana tonight. And since, Warner Brothers, Disney, they're working together a little bit here. Isn't that the way it works? Or is this the way we get the official heel turn? Can you see the Joker gimmick that he's supposed to be relating his character off of here? Sure you can. Prince not as a treasure. Absolutely, Darth. Oh, and here comes Joe, pissed off as always. How you doing tonight, Darth? Hope you're doing well as well. If you want to see the Twitter ad for Revolution with Joe voicing it, go take a look at his shirt. That Hawaiian shirt he's got on is absolutely epic. It's so amazing. This is the ultimate tweener situation for everybody here. Because everybody loves everybody, everybody hates everybody. Hop along. Yeah, that's true. Ha! Well, Joe just makes it very simple. Hey, how's it going tonight, sir? Hope it's treating you well here tonight, Chris. You gotta love this. You gotta love this. I really don't know. I There it is. We knew that was coming. Funny how Swerve mentions the terrible thing he's done and the audience still cheers. Exactly. That's why I'm like, the situation of having face and heel is over. We got 3 tweeners in here. Now it might be a little different after that little hit there. I was wondering if you would catch on what I was saying there, sir. Hope you're doing well here tonight, sir. Pray Saturn, pray Saturn, pray Saturn. I'm going to have to get the Saturn disk drive music here just to set up sort of an extra ad sound for every time you guys come in. So Hangman's gone full heel, obviously, right now. Is this the point where we officially have the double turn? It looks like it right now. Do we know the timetable for Adam Cole returning from injury? No. Based on the time that he had the injury, we're probably looking at Double or Nothing, or setting up for Double or Nothing. So we get Will Ospreay's promo here tonight. Praise Rampage. Hey, we'll go with that too. You notice how few people are actually in matches listed here? Not sure which ones have WWE Legend contract, but I'd love to see Luger, the Steiners, DDP, Nash showing up to Sting at this point. Next 5. Contract. Oh no, DDP doesn't. I think DDP is the only one out of that group that doesn't have one there. All right. So that's what Nyla was talking about. Renee stole Jeff Hardy's uniform. Or his shirt, at least. Renee forgot part of her pants. Are you complaining? Maybe Moxley took him for his match. You need him to wrap his hands up because he's going to hit Kingston for once. Luger and Stinger stayed to be a Galaxy Con. Yeah, they could go to... With the Legends contract, they could all go to that. So now they're looking for Sting a whole night. Huh. I stole that part of her pants. I'll give you that one. With those Legends... Oh, sorry, I forgot to mute. They don't get no extra money out of me. With the Legends contracts, you're allowed to go to Galaxy Cons and all that. It's just... You're not allowed to get on other TV, I guess is essentially the best way to put it. The Jacksons should really lead into the EVP angle of big business. I think so. I think they're going to do that too. What I think's probably going to end up happening here is Sting's going to get the victory to go out on, and then the EVPs are going to change the rules. Like, no, this is not going to end like this. We're changing the match. It's now going to be a no disqualification or no submission or something. And Zodiac, thank you for contributing. We are officially halfway there. 75,000 of the 150,000 of the How the Ref Would Book challenge. And I got a little extra surprise for you. Once we get that to get to 100,000, I'll let you know what the little wrinkle is. Maybe that'll help us out here. But I think you guys are really going to enjoy it because, you know, How the Ref Would Book would be interesting, but you're definitely going to get my thoughts, but you're also going to get some other little intricacies involved with it. So, and I'm definitely going to want your guys' information on what exactly you want booked. And I'm going to work on setting that up into our Discord channel. So I love how my auto words there say relatively spam free. If you join our Discord, you'll know anytime that any of our compatriots go online as well as any videos that drop. So feel free to join there. I am somewhat decent at kicking idiots out. So, and I do believe I also have some. Nobody's picked up the Capcom package that I put in the gaming chat. So there is some free Steam codes in there too. So feel free to pop in there and claim them if you want them. I was celebrating Capcom Cup last weekend, so I picked up a humble bundles. So it's if you guys didn't get a chance to see the Capcom Cup and you do like fighting games, do yourself a favor and check it out. I know none of the big names made it to the Big Eight, but my God, some of the fights in there were absolutely spectacular. More promos. Jun Akiyama, jeez. Oh, that's right. We're getting Danielson and Kingston. Oh, and that's how this all made up. Okay. This is why we got to start watching Collision. Because they're starting to intertwine the stories a little bit, and, good on them. Give you a reason to check out Saturdays, right? I keep forgetting it's on. Yeah, I know. It's there's so many things going on a Saturday night. I really wish they would bump up the time to 6:05 like it used to be. Because 6:05 Mountain or 6:05 Eastern, perfect time just before everybody starts getting ready to go out and whatnot. It's more of a supper time show for you guys. It's only 4 o'clock here, so it's not that bad for us. But if Turner's going to give you TV at 8, you take it at 8. Usually in the middle of a gaming binge. Always good to duck out on one of those. Yeah, I know. I've been on a bit of an MLB binge myself here lately. I know we streamed a little bit of it Monday, sorry. Thanks to Suicide Squad having a glitch in it that apparently they fixed. I got the update, and we'll try her out tomorrow and see how things go. Like I was mentioning off the top of the show, we're going to be playing Suicide Squad tomorrow. It's probably going to be our last stream of it regardless. If the glitch is fixed, we should be able to finish the game off. Well, at least the storyline part. If not, I am actually enjoying it. I am. I know the missions get a little repetitive at times and whatnot, but I don't mind the way they're going. But the first time I really got frustrated with it was last Thursday when this glitch came up after they fixed the repairs. Essentially what would happen is after you finish every mission, rather than loading back into the game, it would just be on a loading screen saying that it was loading Metropolis. So basically trying to go back to your game and it just froze. But they had a website ready to go for any bugs. You get the screen for it, you send it in, and they were working on it all weekend. They put the patch out on Tuesday morning. I love how Eddie's just waving at the audience with his face like, yep, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. I'm killing these guys right now. Nobody travels same circle as Eddie Kingston. Yeah, no. But Eddie Kingston, like, if you guys didn't check out the Wrestling Observer newsletter, he was known as the promo of the year. Was Eddie, and that actually made the most sense. If you ask me, he is one of the best talkers in the business right now. Just straight up. What an opening. Hey, it sells you on the point that we finally got that heel turn, right? Hey, Vic, how you doing tonight, by the way? Yeah, that's what we were saying like we said earlier, pretty much up until that promo, we had 3 tweeners in our main event for the pay-per-view. Now we definitely have Paige as a heel at this point. Swerve is probably face by de facto, and then Joe is just whatever the hell he wants to be. And then here, yeah, like FTRs, whatever they need to be. There's a real sense in wrestling now that there's a real sense that in wrestling that the cool heel has sort of ruined the fact that they have faces and heels anymore. Like, hell, let's face it, Rhea Ripley, when she's with Judgment Day, is a complete heel, but when she's by herself, she's the ultimate babyface. Sort of the same way. And Vic, I'm doing great. It's day 1 of my vacation here of 9 days, so unfortunately I had to go visit the DMV because in Alberta, when your last name starts with M, you got to register your vehicles by the end of February. So, and I was just lucky. There was only like 5 people in line. So I don't know whether it's because it was minus 20 outside today, which for you Americans, that would have been about it was about -3 with a -10 wind chill for those in America right now with the Fahrenheit scale. So Dax is so underrated as a wrestler right now. And Dax is absolutely on a roll getting ready because there's a very big potential that Kingston could be, or sorry, not Kingston, Dax could be on his own here in a few months. Because in June is when Cash's court hearing is, I do believe. And they've decided to go to trial, so... And for those that don't know about the case, it was I think they said 3rd-degree assault with the fact that he pulled a gun out on somebody during a road rage incident. Oh, yeah, we knew this was going to happen a few times. I got to remember to sign up for that today, so... Ugh. Next couple days, I got to sign up for TSM Plus here to catch the rest of it so we can get through... Once again, just reminding everybody, I will get a new logo done up here... That's one of my goals is here to update some of the logos and that for the AEW and whatnot. We're going to be doing both sidecasts, and Dynamite's got a new logo coming out. And yeah, we got a lot of fun coming up here. Sorry, if you guys tuned in late, I got a chance to take a look at what the GM mode has in store, and we're going to have some fun with it. That's for sure. A lot of the clutter stuff that we had to deal with last time is gone. Like, for example, you unlock tiers for your logistics instead of having to go in manually every single time and do all those logistics, even though you want the same thing over and over again. There's trades now. The matchups can be a little more looser compared to what they used to be. And the other part is the specialty matches in GM mode. You have to earn. There is an option if you play by default that you earn each specialty match. There are 4 extra ones, but you have to, like every single specialty match you have to earn. So once you start committing X number of matches, getting some popularity, getting some rivalries put together, they will open up those options for you. Whether it be the special referee, whether it be the ambulance match, the Falls Count Anywhere match, the updated backstage brawl, whether even the Hell in the Cell and all that, they're all progressive for you. So the only other change I was mentioning off the top here, that they have added the ECW brand as well as a whole bunch of general managers. They don't have Nick Aldis, but they do have Sonya Deville. So I'm sure Nick Aldis will probably get patched in. I will probably try to do custom GM, like actually try and scan my face for this one. But yeah, that's in a week and a half's time here. This match here, let's just say it's a great teaser for what's coming up this week. And the fact that we get all 6 of these guys involved at the pay-per-view. Oh, this is going to be hilarious. Thoughts about CM Punk talking about how he is in 2K20? Yeah, that was shot down very, very quickly, though. I don't know if you heard, but DLC pack number 1 is CM Punk. I believe the pack is called Punk ECW. So you're getting CM Punk as well as, I think it's Terry Funk, Sandman. There's about 4 or 5 wrestlers there, but Punk is a part of it as well. I'm more interested in what's going to happen with Pack 3, where it's Pat McAfee and his entire crew. Pat McAfee, sorry. Thinking computers today, my bad. Cash Wheeler with a Hurricanrana. Okay. So, the other story that came up, and this actually has a lot to do with AEW, one of the biggest news reports that came down. CMLL just had I didn't get a chance to take down all the details of who was involved, but CMLL had just had a media call, and 6 of their wrestlers apparently are getting their U.S. visas revoked due to the company screwing up. And it's most of the guys that were on AEW television just over a week and a half ago. Or sorry, that would have been 2 weeks ago when the BCC had their little argument with the CMLL superstars. So it never seems to fail that AEW's always got stuck with some kind of drama, right? Even when it's not even their promotion. Oh, and for those of you that popped in here yesterday over at the our local establishment site, whether you were looking, whether you're watching, as I was talking a little NXT with Ed Fries there, thank you. I truly appreciate it. I don't usually do a lot of those review shows after the fact, mainly because my memory is so horrible. But it seemed to go really well. It ended up going about 2 hours. It's pretty amazing that the show, the actual show goes as long as the actual taping show. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Vic. I appreciate that. Like, I am going to look to try to do a little bit more of that stuff going forward here. So If you guys ever need a remote guest there, Vic, feel free. Let me know, and we can see maybe we can work something out, but... And I am looking to it, and I'm going to have the graphic available starting Friday here about some of the stuff we're going to be doing here. Oh. If you want a middle-aged white guy from the Texas of Canada to be on your show to talk wrestling from the heart of Stampede country, you can hold it to me all you want. Some of the other news that came down today while we're watching this, and the fact that I'm seeing FTR in the ring here, another picture-in-picture. Dungeon Wrestling, the promotion that's been hosted by Bret Hart, they have struck a pay-per-view deal with hwnlive.ca. It is basically a sports pay-per-view website. And now you can actually watch all the Dungeon Wrestling shows on there. For a fee, but for my money, Dungeon Wrestling is one of the, I would say, top 2.5 promotions here in Alberta. The quality of wrestling is all through the roof. Like, if you got IWTV, check out Love Wrestling, because their shows are up on there now. If you have Fight Plus, you can, the Fight app with the Fight Plus membership, you can check out Top Talent Pro Wrestling. They're there. Penta was... The day that they said Penta couldn't make Dynamite because of visa issues, it was because his visa was being processed and being in Canada, because he was here in Edmonton for a show the next night. So I think actually what happened is the fact he thought he wasn't booked, so he decided to come early to Edmonton, which, you know, that's your punishment, because what was it, 3 days ago we got a foot of snow, and we dropped to, I think it was -3 still. That's where the temperatures dropped down to. It was the last couple days like that. We're somewhere around the +3 mark Fahrenheit right now, so supposed to be up to the mid-20s here by the weekend. So, but yeah, that's what happened to Penta at that point. But you should be able to see him on the Fight Plus, and RCW, good promotion, little hit and miss with some of the booking on it. They're on YouTube. Monster Pro Wrestling, they're the developmental promotion here in town. Thank goodness a lot of that is recorded but not easily available. Just saying. But yeah, the caliber of athletes we have here in Alberta, like, here's one for you for next month. March 23rd, I believe it is. It's the last Thursday in March. They are having Nicole Matthews versus Mike Bailey here in Edmonton at the Rec Room for Love Wrestling times Clandestine Society. So that one's going to be an absolute banger for those that are familiar with independent wrestling. So probably two of the best. And, well, Speedball's an Impact, so we all know about him, but... I love the fact that Dax doesn't put any extra K-tape on his arm. No way. Well, there's a piss off. There's a piss off to FTR with a heart attack. Really? A tied up elbow to the shoulder. That's pretty ingenious for those guys. Yeah, this is a little rough for these guys. But as much as they talk about how they're going to be in rough shape, FTR did end up going 53 minutes with the Bullet Club Gold here on Collision one night, so. Danielson tried to chop Kingston. That's just. It almost looks like these two legitimately do not like each other. So here's a question. I'm going to throw this out right now, folks. 3 days to go. Who do you have? Do you got Danielson or you got Kingston in that match? I think they're going to put Kingston over again. When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside. Keep Kingston rolling? Absolutely. Like, you gave him that championship for a reason.
Call this a sucker riot? Come on, boys. Let's take him to school. Oi! 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 Oi!
Genius! How the hell are you doing here? Hope you're doing well. For everybody that just popped in, we are watching a little AEW Dynamite. If you are in the States, it is on TNT right now. If you're in Canada, it's on TSN2. For those that are new here, my name is Mike the Ref. I am a variety streamer, former pro wrestling commentator, wrestling opinionator, and video game lover, sports game lover, fighting game lover, lover of life, bitter son of a gun, and all things in between. Thank you, Genius, once again. You're doing good. I'm doing great. Technically, it's my first day of vacation, so I am just cruising right now. Danielson's going to eat the pin? I didn't think so. Why do I have this weird feeling that this match is just going to end up in a non-contest? Because who's going to eat the pin? We're going to have it's just pretty much a staycation here, you know. When you work in retail, you don't get to be able to afford much for vacation. Working on it with a little bit of extra Twitch work here, and we got some YouTube stuff coming up here, and that Orange Cassidy Nick Wayne match, I got a feeling it's going to be a lot more fun than please. And then we got another Jericho match. I'll just throw that in there. Jericho versus his former tag team partner's son. If you didn't know about Atlantis Jr., he's the son of Chris Jericho's former AAA tag team partner, who is going to be at ringside. So who knows how this is going to work, so. Are they all going out? Oh, and they're all holding... Oh, they were holding hands. It's an interesting way to have a rest hold here. I find it funny that Kingston does it a little more exaggerated than everybody else. If you're not watching his chops here, he's spending more time slapping his own chest than he's slapping anybody else's. Oh, let's reverse it around. Chops for everyone. Or fists. Let's just randomly... They're giving this match a ton of time. Makes me feel like, yeah, they're only going to have these 4 matches. Oh, speaking of which, speaking of matches that are going to get extra time. Damn. There's the Brain Buster. Busaiko knee and... Nope. Another knee. So he's going to knock him unconscious here, get him ready for the pay-per-view. Now Eddie's out. Yep, he's out. And he's not going to let him up. Seems like the audio department sort of forgot to play the music properly. Well, at least we're getting some matches plugged in here. But what I was saying earlier is Tony Khan announced that due to multiple injuries to participants in the match, the Meat Spectacular is being put in the cooler, per exact quote, and being replaced with an all-star scramble who they haven't announced who yet. I got a feeling this is going to be a lot of ROH stuff, a lot of ROH people involved. Yeah, but he already got choked out. What are you talking about? I really want to see that Danielson face again. Oh. Let's just say we're probably going to see that face again as part of about 1 million memes. Not his face, baby face. Oh. Oh, you want to see Babyface? Okay. I don't know how much you're going to see that because he really wasn't a whole lot of that. Like it seems like he's just hit his stride so much here. So we're going to get the history of Chris Jericho once again. Just read one of his books. El Dandy. Shout out to Bret Hart on that one. Okay. And we got Ospreay coming up next, so I'm looking. We get the official. I guess this would be the official debut of signed Will Ospreay, because he hasn't been on AEW TV since Full Gear. He's been mentioned a lot of times by Don Callis, but he hasn't actually said anything or done anything. Is this going to be... El Dandy once had an atrocious match on Nitro with David Flair. Jaeger, to be perfectly honest, everybody had an atrocious match with Nitro with David Flair. Like, all the good ones, like, if you want to talk about average matches, you take all the good ones Rick had, you take all the bad ones David had, and then maybe you get to level it even. Like, with all due respect, David Flair was, ugh. I don't even want to say serviceable at times. But forever and a day in North American wrestling, El Dandy will be remembered as the guy that Bret Hart tried to put over on a famous promo in WCW. I think that'll be his highlight in North American wrestling, as Bret Hart tried to put him over. So, not saying he's a bad wrestler at all, just I don't know much about him. And of course, being a luchador, he probably has more of a reputation down in Mexico than he would here in northern North America. I want to say North America, but then I'm like, wait a second, Mexico's part of North America. What? Duh. I'll just do this to myself right now. Yeah, I deserve that. But that Ospreay, I forgot about that match. Ospreay versus Takeshita. We're getting that on Sunday as well. Like, to me, that is a pretty exciting match going on. I think Takeshita really needs, well, he's always been, to me, he's always been, and I know we talked about it here, has been that guy that always does something. He's like that guy in the karate movies who's just going to do something absolutely fantastic. And you just have to wait for that moment to see. But now he's got Ospreay, which, like, hell, he's already got 2 matches of the year contenders. And that match with Oku and Rev Pro is probably going to be the match of the year for most people. If you haven't got a chance to watch it, take a look. One other, and for those that are here, praise Saturn. The they actually have a move called the Super Mega Drive. So for you Saturn fans, that should dig deep and feel great at home. It's a very spectacular move, and I've only seen it pulled out maybe 2 or 3 times ever. Of course, he's come in a little early just for the pay-per-view, right? Ospreay just looks so happy right now. I almost feel like this is going to be the point where Callis is going to come out and Ospreay's going to be like, I don't need you anymore. You were my agent to get into AEW. Either that or he's going to turn full heel right now and life's going to be absolutely amazing. He's looking for a hug and he got left hanging. Boo Shivani. Boo Shivani there. Kermit the Frog. Ollie, bruv. Oh my. The fact I'm going to get a chance to see Osprey on more of a full-time basis, this is going to be amazing. Yeah. Well, it was Torontonian, so I don't know if it's considered really his people. Yeah, I love that as soon as the word callous comes up, everybody just starts booing the piss out of it. But, yeah, it sucks that Hobbs is not going to get the same match that he was supposed to get at the pay-per-view. I like Will's look on his face. He's like, what? Callus, you're not going to be able to speak over this crowd. And this has never been filtered. But what about Kyle Fletcher, the fourth man here? Who has visa issues and won't be here tonight, so... Callus eats yellow snow. I got to give him a gold coin for that one. This is going to be such a good match. So is he trying to set up a title match here? Yeah, no. There's no shaking hands here. Oh. He ain't okay. Ah, here we go. So you're a little taller than me, huh, bruv? Well, this crowd knows who it wants to win. So we're all voting for Kermit the Frog to win this one, right? It's one of the few times where we could get a heel versus heel match in AEW. This, like I said, this is a testament once again to our tweener thing, right? Kermit on leg day. It's going to be a line of the year here coming up. Like, Ospreay's just delivering gold, whatever he does. Like, losing all his luggage already. Like, he posted that on Twitter that United was already screwing up on his first day. Ospreay looks legit energized here at this point. Really? Dress code? And A's like, yeah, screw this. I ain't doing this. Good part of a dress code. Is it an open challenge if... Why do you announce it as an open challenge to the crowd if we all know who it is already? It's where Tony Khan's booking, while I loved some of the matches, some of his his production booking just doesn't make sense to me sometimes. Make it an open challenge, make it a surprise, make it Nick Wayne be the surprise. I wouldn't mind that at all. But the fact that we already know in advance, don't bother. Want Wayne to win this? Hey, that would be awesome just to have everything switch around. Roddy Strong would be absolutely pissed, but, you know. Oh well. Yeah, just like Tony said there, sorry to hear that Ole Anderson and Virgil both passed away this week. I hope that Virgil gets all the fuck money he always wanted. And Ole, well, you know, I hope his eternal life works out as well as his booking did as he was going forward, as he was going through the territories. We need to have Will Ospreay side by side with Nick Wayne. Seriously. Paint a little beard on Nick Wayne here. Send Wayne to the gym for a few years. And I think you might have something look very similar. Like Christian might be his father, but Will Ospreay's his daddy, I think. Either that or so maybe you could ask Will Ospreay if he grew up to be a postman part of his life. Kill Switchosaurus not having gold with Christian, always crapping on him while Wayne just accidentally winning would be some prime content. Yeah. The fact that Luchasaurus had to give up his guaranteed contract that night to get the title back for Christian, that to me makes some good story writing. So I agree with you, Zodiac. That would actually be a phenomenal way to do it. So that is an interesting story, and I know we I'll bring it back a little bit to what we were discussing with NXT NXT last night there with the Heritage Cup match there where Noam Dar ended up, normally he's got the numbers advantage, but he ended up shorthanded and getting worked by Charlie Dempsey in the No Quarter Catch Club. Now Orange Cassidy always used to have the best friends in his corner, and now nothing. He's got no one with him. Oh, they're advertising shirts. I just want to give a shout out to Shop AEW and Street Fighter with the JP versus Sting shirt. I just got that in about a week and a half ago with Perazo there, right? Jungle Boy makes a save, right?
No, please, no.
With all due respect, I don't think Jungle Boy makes the save simply because he's playing another gimmick over in New Japan. And they've advertised that his first match back after his hiatus is going to be in New Japan as part of this tournament that they got going on. The Scapegoat, yes. Nice way to get out of that. Ow. Wayne is impressive. I will give him that. For as young as he is. Orange Cassidy with the best Nick Wade, better than Dirty Dom. I love that. Oh God. And he sticks the landing. Yeah, I'll agree to that. I will definitely agree with that. Nick Wade has some 1, 2, 3 kid vibe. He's got that skinny body to go with it, right? Like Sean Waltman never felt like he really could get a victory, but no, he just saw that he was that he moved, right? The comment of the night? Yeah, I'll give him that. Nick Wayne has some 1, 2, 3 kid vibes. But I would love to see, like, oh, what I was thinking there. We were talking about Dirty Dom. If you want to know what they think of Dirty Dom in terms of the game. Wow, Christian that was a bit of an amateur move by Christian there. He was a little quicker than I thought he should have been. All right, you're all gone. And they're actually having a reaction. And we got the picture going on here. What I was mentioning there, the way that WWE 2K thinks of Dominic Mysterio, I'll give you a quick little rundown at the beginning of the universe, or the Be a Star mode, whichever way you want to call it, the create a character. Long story short, Roman Reigns hands in his championship for after whatever reign, nobody could beat him, and he hands in his title, and there's a tournament, of course, to decide who the new champion's going to be. So you actually get a chance to get into the last spot if you could beat Dominic Mysterio. So if Dominic Mysterio is your passage gate into that game, you know that he's like, Akira Tozawa's probably got more credit in that game than Dominic at that point. But yeah, when you guys are saying Nick Wayne over Dominic Mysterio, I do think that right now, it's like comparing apples to sweat socks with these two, because Dominic is that guy that's going to work the storyline, going to work the slower pace. Even though his dad was one way, he definitely is another, and he definitely knows how to he knows how to accentuate his positives, right? But he can still go in the ring. Like that NXT championship that he got, the North American championship, while there was some nefarious means involved, it didn't look like he didn't belong. That's the thing that I was most worried about. You think Dominic is held back for story purposes? I just think that when you're in there with three heavy bombers like Finn Balor, Punishment Martinez, and Rhea Ripley, and I say Punishment Martinez on purpose to show what kind of experience he has. When you have three heavy hitters like those three, you're going to get overshadowed. But at the same time, I think he was put in there for a good reason. His mouth is his biggest gift right now. And the fact that he can hide behind these other guys. And yes, you have JD McDonough as well. R-Truth, depending on the day. But you see, the more of the stuff that's been coming down, the less he has to get involved. You just go in there and throw some bad spots and just take care of a few nasty spots as we go along every once in a while, right? I always find it funny that Orange Cassidy, to break a full Nelson, will put his hands in his pockets. Makes you almost wonder what's in those pockets at these times. And I have to say this night has been really flying by. Like, how many matches have we had? 2 so far? And this is the third one here? And we're already at 10 after 7 or 10 after 9 Eastern. And then after that, all we have really scheduled is the women's match with Kris Statlander and Skye Blue. Thinking he can wrestle, but him being a goober draws that nuclear heat. Yeah, like Dominic can wrestle. It just, does he have to wrestle? Nick Wayne, he has to show himself off a little bit, because with this faction, he's not there to talk. He's there to be that prodigy, right? So good old Cassidy. It's always amazing when he tries. Oh, I heard Alabama might need a kicker after the CFB season now that Saban's gone. Jeez. Dom wasn't the prodigy. He was a Nepo baby, so it plays the character much. That's fair. That I'd say that would be fair on how he got in. I don't think Lance Storm would have taken him into his school so readily if he didn't have those extras available. Oh, God. Wayne tried to hook the legs after that. Appearances are... Yeah, well... Oh, Rocky and Shredder back. I guess those concertos aren't that bad. Oh, there's Garcia. Where's Luchasaurus? Oh, he got kicked out. You know what? That's actually a pretty decent way to save Nick Wayne a little face here. Because it almost appeared like he might actually win this with all this chaos going on. Oh, and here comes Strong. Yeah, he looked absolutely amazing in this match. Like, that's the thing. Like, Nick Wayne's still got to get some matches in to prove that he belongs. Because he's barely wrestled. He's gotten maybe, 4 or 5 matches so far in his career. But he's just been a guy that's been roaming around ringside. But a match like this will speak volumes to his future career here. And I think the future is really bright. Yeah, he looks natural in there. He looks like he fits in. And that's what happens when you get a lot of these guys that go through the indies. And how many times do you think Orange and Nick Wayne worked in GCW or any of those indie promotions in the area? Like, I know that Orange did work Defy quite a bit, and that's where Nick primarily went to. But Nick and Jordan Oliver, they were all over the country. The East... I think it's, the East or West East Express or whatever. Jordan Oliver is another talent that I know we were talking for quite a bit, thinking that he was going to be getting signed to come in here as Wayne's tag team partner before he joined up with Christian Cage. And I still think it might still be a good choice to bring him in regardless. It's always good to have another kid surrounding the father figure. And that would be a hell of a tag team to go through here. Not that we don't have enough tag teams anymore, but, you know. We're going to lose one after Revolution, but that actually could be the point where we could have the potential for new tag teams coming in, because if you think of it this way, Sting and Darby are putting up the titles against the EVPs. Now, if Sting decides that he wants to go out on top and they let him, basically those tag titles are going to be vacated regardless. Which should, I'm assuming there's probably going to be a tournament to decide who the next champions are. That's a point where you can bring in somebody like a Jordan Oliver to work with Nick Wayne and whatnot. Granted, you do have a ton of tag teams already available. It'd just be nice to have one. I believe every faction should have, in my opinion, 5 people. You have your heavyweight contender, your middle title contender, your tag team, and your women's competitor. If you could have those 5 in your faction, I consider that a very strong faction at these points. And you look at the best friends, they had, they had Ricky, or now they have Rocky Romero for their lower titles. Orange Cassidy, in many ways, for quite a while there, they were considering the international title the top title on Dynamite. with the lack of MJF or anybody, or even CM Punk, well, not so much John Moxley. Moxley was around quite a bit, but the rest of them not really producing the title a whole lot. And then for the women, they have Kris Statlander, which ironically enough is going to be coming up in a few minutes. Oh, God. Max gets another rap banned from TV. Austin getting a little pissed the fact that his name doesn't get to go first. All right, here we go. Statlander and Skye Blue. This should be fun. And who says you don't have women's tag teams here at AEW? I love Stokely Hathaway just for what he's trying to... They put him in as the authority figure in ROH, but it just seems like he's so much more comfortable in this role instead. So Willow was upset a couple weeks ago, if you guys weren't watching, that Stokely pulled the interference that a normal heel manager would and got Willow the victory. What is that outfit on Skye? She's turned into some kind of queen or something. Stokely's poem a few weeks ago about Stat being thicker than a Snickers. Well, not exactly wrong in many ways. I like this good old-fashioned fight here. As someone who's met her in person at GalaxyCon 2 years ago, she is... she's not only thicker than a Snickers, but she's absolutely a gem from what I've heard. So many good things about Statlander. Same thing about Willow. I got a chance to quickly meet Willow at a Love Pro Wrestling show here in Edmonton a couple years ago. Well... One of the biggest feuds that Statlander had on the indies prior to coming into AEW was with Orange Cassidy. You can imagine how those two went at it. An alien and a guy that doesn't try. 2 weeks from tonight, this is going to be fun. So one of my goals here for this show is to have... For all these special theme shows, I want to see maybe if I can get a special guest in for some of these. It's just somebody we can feed off of, we can talk together, and they're more notable shows and a little more famous. I do have a special guest lined up for Big Business already. I will let you guys know either at the pay-per-view or next week on Dynamite. Nice try. Skye tried to do it. Ryback.
No, please, no.
That's probably the last person. I'm one of those that voted to retire when he asked which title he should which promotion he should go with. And I don't know if you remember that. If you remember this, about I think it was a year and a half ago, he would continually put out tweets with a poll on him saying which promotion should he try to sign with, and his fourth option was always retire, and it would always win. Well, and you notice all the wrestlers who try to cover their faces up so they don't see their extras? I'm extra strong. I could dump my wrestlers into the fans. Any platform he gets to talk his views, it seems. Yeah, Oh, that's right. The main event's Atlantis and Jericho. Great. Man, that viewer retention at the end of the show is really going to be something here tonight, isn't it? At least we know it's probably going to have to be a short match because Sting, Darby, and the Bucks are going to be closing out the show here tonight, apparently. Here's a question for you, chat. I'm wondering, I know we're in an ad break right now for non-subscribers, but who do you think closes out the show? I mean the pay-per-view, not tonight. Do we get the Sting retirement match as the main, or do we get the heavyweight title match as the main? I think in many ways they're probably going to put Sting there. The only thing I'm worried about is the fact that Joe, Strickland, and Paige are going to put on performance that's going to make... I know they're going to have the emotion of the emotion of Sting's last match as an extra backup here, but I don't know if they're going to get the feeling of actually having that be enough to carry that match through. Depends how long they plan on doing the match too, because it is a Texas Tornado match, so they literally could go outside and do anything all over the place. And those in the ad break, thank you for coming back. I was just asking everybody, which match do they think is going to close Revolution? Is it going to be the heavyweight title match, or is it going to be the Sting retirement match here? My personal feeling is it's probably going to be the Sting retirement match, but I don't know if they're going to get... I don't know if they're going to be able to get the momentum after... Those three in the heavyweight title match are going to steal the show here. One thing I'd also like to see here, like completely flip-flopping into topics here. I wonder if we're going to get something on the pay-per-view out of this rivalry that's going on right now. Could we finally see Willow and Statlander taking on Blue and Julia Hart? Like, if the title doesn't get defended, so be it. And I know that Julia Hart apparently has been injured for a little bit. I don't know if she's currently injured right now. Probably a tag match in 0 Hour, yeah. Be a little disappointing that way, but... disappointing, yes. Surprising, no, not really. As they're starting to go back and forth here. It's really nice to see how Skye Blue has improved over the years here. And combined with the fact that it's nice to see Statlander actually be able to get some momentum here. Because, let's face it, every time that Statlander's been able to get any sort of momentum, her knees decide to go out, and she was out for a year. Now, her last return when she took that title off Jade, let's face it, was more out of necessity than out of a good storyline booking. But for she actually took it and ran pretty well, and then of course Julia Hart has it. So, and yeah, Vic, it is really nice to see. Yes, I do find it funny with Skye Blue, the fact that she says she can never get recognized if she's wearing pants. For me, it's a bit of a laugh here, just the fact that, you know, she's not wrong in many ways, but and I know I was talking about it with Ed on prior to our little show last week or yesterday taking over. It's come to the point where some of the outfits now are coming up with a lot of garters on the side. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying it's more accentuating now than it used to be. Uh-oh, Julia is picked. Don't make me take the hat off. Nice drop toe hold. But you're looking at Jada Parker, you're looking at Asuka, who's originated. Oh! Canadian Destroyer, super kick, small package. That's not going to be enough. And Julia's just ticked. What were you going to try to do? Panama Sunrise? Ow. That was a hard fall because she did not fall square. Was that like a modified Blue Thunder Bomb there? I think possibly. Stokely wants a chain. Not going to use a damn chain. But Julia will. Well, she'll use a belt. See, if you're not going to cheat, that's what's going to happen. Yeah, Willow's looking at Stokely like, this is your fault. You know that, right? All right, Skye, get. All right, I appreciate this for a move of the night instead. The Code Blue. If you guys were around last week, they actually used somebody getting injured as part of their move of the night. But it was also in the women's match, so maybe they're actually doing that on purpose here. Oh, goody. More Matthew and Nicolas. You're not going to fight him until he's in the ring at the end of the night. Someone actually get injured? Madison said she didn't. Oh my. Hitting a chair. Oh, they probably don't want to damage anything in here. Did anybody get injured? Madison came out and said she didn't get injured, but she's also been having issues with staying healthy. I'll believe it when I see her next time in the ring. If she's back within a week or two, no problem, but it looked like she got dumped on her head hard in that segment there, so. But the fact that it looked like she got injured and the show the referee actually checking like not just looking for a submission or saying, actually checking to see if she's injured. Oh, tonight? Doesn't look like it. Statlander got clocked in the head with a title. That was about it. I'm talking about real injury, not last. I'm not talking about getting knocked out by a title belt, which Julie actually did very well. I think the way that she hit it, the way that she hit it properly. But when it comes to the fact that they're actually using TurboTax to accentuate the women with some extra ads too, maybe that has something to do with some stuff here. But it's going to be interesting to see how things start developing in about 2 weeks here with big business coming up, and we got more writers coming in to help out. And I just hope sincerely one of these days Tony Khan lets something go. Like, he's got enough people set up to have the infrastructure together for stuff to work. He needs to find a way to let somebody take care of booking of something, even if he has to look over it after. I would want a day-to-day of something a little bit more under someone else's control. Like, forgive me for that. Even if if you bring in a Scott D'Amore to work on ROH, I think that's one of the most common concepts right now is to get Scott D'Amore in to cover that ROH now that he's no longer with TNA, which is a whole different ball of wax altogether. Truth be known, I was going to start doing a little bit more TNA coverage, but I don't really want to based on all the drama that's going on right now. I want to see what happens before I put any commitment into it. Jericho go with the old school gear and the old school Titantron. Well, I guess it's not really old school because they didn't have Titantrons back then. Ex-NWA World Middleweight Champion in CMLL. May 1st, out to Wiener Peg. So yeah, they probably looked at the weather and said, nah, we'll come back later. No Judas? No, because they're trying to hype up that this is a CMLL match. I guarantee when Jericho wins after, they'll put on Judas. World Historic Light Heavyweight Champion. Yeah. You notice how Atlantis could barely walk? And Jericho, well, Jericho's Jericho. He could still decently go. Sometimes he overextends himself a little bit, but that's when he usually gets himself in trouble. The best things are from Canadiana, yeah. There are many good things from Canada. By the way, shout out to Kenny Omega, who got a chance to do the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth release party for Square Enix with Naomi Kyle earlier today. It started around 4 o'clock. Any of you Final Fantasy VII fans who are going to be, well, pretty much everybody be checking that out, I guess. I'll be frank, I haven't checked it yet. But if you guys didn't see, what's his face, Jabali. Jabali actually helped Kenny Omega set up a streaming station for Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega is entering the world of streaming. They haven't announced yet what his name's going to be on there or when he's making his debut, but they did show pictures of Kenny Omega's streaming setup, and it is tight. I believe, like, tight. I believe it's the term they use in this world. And in a few others, who knows. Yeah, I went on a tangent there, but I can't wait to see what Kenny's going to be able to do. And hell, you know what? You know how many raids he's going to get his first couple weeks if he ends up going on Twitch? Like, every wrestling fan in the world's going to send their streams over to him. I know people complain about going for the Lion Tamer already. Oh no, the walls. Toy, like a tiger. Exactly. I got no PS5 Zodiac? Yeah. I'll be honest, I'm not... I haven't checked any of the Final Fantasies out myself. Oh, there you go. That's the lesson you learn. All right, they're trying to make a decent match out of this. You can tell that Atlantis is a... I don't want to say new. Does anybody know how much experience he actually has in the ring? I'm assuming he's got a fair bit if he's got a title, right? Oh, God. Did you see how close Atlantis Jr. was to the post? Probably hit his own head on it first. I was like, oh, God, please remember that it is one piece. WWE's ring steps are two pieces. AEW's are one. Are they actually... Is he actually going to try to... Nope. That was... Well... somewhat believable. I really hate when they screw up a spot and they immediately have to go for it, but that one actually made a little bit of sense here. So when they did the when they went for the second power bomb here, the fact that he is a cruiserweight actually helps out with that. But yeah, going into the picture here, letting Kris be able to slow this match down now and keep control of this. I really wonder how much more time they're actually going to give him, though, because let's face it, I don't know if they want to have a big overrun here on this one. You might want to have a couple minutes just because you want to be able to catch the new people coming in to make sure they see that there's a pay-per-view coming up on Sunday. Hey, son, he's not as light as when we wrestle with me, okay? I'll give you that one. I didn't even think of that. I should have, but yeah, they got. So, Chad, I have to ask you. I was gonna give my thoughts first, but overall, what's your level of out of 1 to 10? What's your level of excitement going into the pay-per-view on Sunday? Because we got quite a few matches set up here. I don't think we have as many as a normal pay-per-view, but we still have Collision to go yet. And it'll be interesting to see who gets involved in that scramble match. $7.5 after the Hangman segment. That's where I was roughly going to go. I was going to go 7, 8, somewhere in there. I don't want to say much more than that. I want to see who's in that scramble match now that the Meat Spectacular has been put in the cooler. Tony Khan's words, not mine. I'm guessing that Hobbs got a little injured against Guevara. Because if you look who's in that match, Wardlow's not injured. Archer's always injured, but he still wrestles anyway. It must be Hobbs. And hell, maybe it's Miro too. Like, do they have other people involved in that match? Like, just having those three in there, just... This might also be the fact that Tony Khan realized that this Meat Spectacular with 3 people was just dumb. Maybe, for lack of a better term, dumb. Like, I'm sure those 3 would make it entertaining, but at the same time... Yeah, I love how Shivani says, don't turn your attention away from Jericho, and I pretty much, at this point... You could pretty much turn your face away from Jericho half of his matches and pretty much know what's already going on. So who's bleeding that Aubrey's got to have? Oh, he's bleeding on the knuckle, that's why. Aubrey was looking for a cover and they... Jesus! That looked uglier than hell, but it still worked. Just having such a hard time bringing him over there. So, folks, just a quick reminder... make sure you stick around for the raid tonight because I'm going to send you over to Ed Fries, our buddy that we were talking with last night, talking NXT. He's actually on with another Backbreaker video member, Andre C., and they're doing a little Marvel talk, talking about the original Thor movie. So that's where the raid's supposed to go down here. The wonders of modern technology, you never know, it might not happen, but... Jesus, what does he think? He's a Beverly brother? Like, I've heard of Bulldogs, but that was just a straight... What do you call that? He just got Beverly brothered, yeah. Like, seriously, that looked rough. Oh, that was a sweet-looking power slam. Oh. So if you guys get a chance to check out that countdown after Rampage, I might suggest to it. If you're getting NJPW footage of Sting, I know he didn't perform there a lot, but when he did, I'd like to see how good it went. Jesus. Does Jericho have a torn pec? Like, seriously, does Jericho have a torn pec the way it looks right now? Unless that's just a bad camera. Just the way that his right side looks colored in like that. Yeah, but he's too young and doesn't know any better. Seems like a camera angle, yeah. Between the camera and the light, because the lighting, it does look like they missed a little bit. To me, this just doesn't feel like... Maybe it's just me, but it just doesn't feel like a main event. Like to go home to a pay-per-view. You would think that your main event match for a Dynamite going into a pay-per-view would involve somebody that's actually on the card. I know we're going to get the closing segment with Sting and the Jacksons, but... The opening should have closed it? Yeah, well... Let's put it this way. Moxley opens every show. Oh, you mean that promo? Yeah, I could see... But I see why they did the promo to start, so that it's opposite, right? Either way, like, regardless of which promos you do here to close out the show, your last match going into it should have somebody involved in the show. Even if they did Orange Cassidy and Nick Wayne. Just don't turn heel right now. That's not going to look good for the relationship. You did this match for a reason. Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, Jericho matches either have some kind of BS or they just don't look good in terms of a main event run. Just have them tap. Here's the thing. CMLL also has that issue with not having their champions tap out. And let's face it, Atlantis Jr. being a middleweight champion in CMLL, he's not going to then have him faint. They don't want any sense of him giving up. It's shitty. It's horrible. It's old school thinking. Oh, there we go. So Wardlow's is that more Rex? That's old school wrestling across the board, North America or not. Wait. All right. Somebody explain something to me here. I just saw a graphic that confused the hell out of me here. So this All-Star Scramble match that's coming up, we had this meat match that was coming up. And due to injuries, apparently they're not running the meat match. Yet everybody in that All-Star Scramble is... All three men that were in the meat match are in the All-Star Scramble. What the Just come out and say, we had a few surprises we didn't have that are not available right now. We're gonna scratch it for a bit. Don't tell me that somebody's injured and we're not gonna have the match. Oh, we got another 8-man tag. Brian Cage getting involved in these multi-mans. Like, it doesn't matter who's involved in the rivalry. Brian Cage is just becoming that extra man. Oh, that's nice. All right, so the Jacksons are going to call out Sting and Darby. Sting and Darby are going to be in the rafters. I don't think there's going to be much that you have to do to put this segment over. So the pyro sound goes off, but the pyro doesn't come out. You should be like, that's a fine, that's a fine. Oh, they're going after everybody wearing a Sting mask. We'll be so happy when Darby gets to go on his own without the Sting stuff. Here's the thing, and this is why I think the Jacksons are winning on Sunday. After this, Darby's got a little project on his hands. And when I mean little, I mean big, as in climbing the biggest mountain on Earth, Mount Everest. Oh, all right, there we go. Darby just saying, no, thank you. Oh, that was great. Sting just doesn't show up and screws Darby right now. But yeah, Darby's supposed to be climbing Mount Everest after this feud, so... That's why I don't think Darby's gonna... I don't think Darby and Sting are gonna win it, to be honest. Because even if he does, they got to hand in the titles, and it just... I don't think Sting would do that. And everybody in the crowd's just looking for... All right, Sting's breaking this up, right? No. This is like... So they were waving for Sting, and now they're getting Ric Flair. And Ric Flair is going to join the EVPs. Yeah, no. Flair's going to be the EVP's corner, and... Enough campy stuff, all right? Wow, does Rick look... How do I put this? How do I put this politely, chat? What does Ric Flair look like? Dirt? Looks like a corpse. Yeah. Looks like the Crypt Keeper. Yeah. That was the weakest low blow I think I've ever seen in my life. I guess when your balls are turned to dust like his are, you don't need to do much, right? Taps can hurt more, you know. All depends on the spot. But when you're made of petrified wood, I wouldn't think that would hurt that much. Now you get to hear from Sting. Watch him not even come out and disappoint all the fans. And he's going to come rappelling for the ceiling. There he is. And the Bucks have to be like, in the back of their head, they got to be thinking, okay, this is cool. All right, that's where we're turning things around. Oh. Sorry, my earbud's running out of energy, so if I don't hear your alerts right away, forgive me. Just gonna throw this out of my ear right now. Nice death drop. You know when Sting's going over in his last Dynamite appearance, that's when he's going to wrap things up here. So it's actually gonna be nice to have having Sting and Flair sort of, you know, get their moment in the sun here. Actually seems to work out rather well, so. And just by this, the way this was booked, I do feel that this is going to be our main event for the pay-per-view. All right, now they're going through the run through here to wrap things up here. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun pay-per-view. I think they're going to have a lot going on that we're going to be able to enjoy a great 4-hour show, 4.5-hour show, whatever works there. And, yeah, there's not a lot of matches where you know you're going to see for sure who's going to win. Especially with the potential what's going to happen after as well. So, for me personally, I think we're going to have a really good pay-per-view that you're going to have to check out. Like, that's the key. If everything's so predictable and the matchups are blah, then it's not really worth checking out sometimes. But now with Takeshita and Ospreay, you really don't know who's going to win that one. Swerve, Hangman, and Joe, I would assume it's going to be Joe, but it could be anywhere over the block. That main event, take the nostalgia out of it. You really don't know who's going to win that. I would assume it's probably going to be EVPs, but it wouldn't surprise me if Sting wants to go over in his final match. I could see almost Flair once again turning on Sting and Sting not noticing. And that cost him the match. He goes out the way that he's gone in every time he meets up with Flair. Toni Storm and Deonna Purrazzo. You could keep it on Storm, but with Deonna there, maybe you want to see Deonna Mercedes? That might be the money match. Toni Storm Mercedes could be as well. Like, I think Mercedes is more of a serious gimmick, and having Toni as a joke gimmick like that, not a joke gimmick in terms of she does it poorly, joke gimmick as in it's a comedy segment and you got somebody that's going to be ultra serious coming in. Storm Mercedes, the bigger match? Yeah, I could see that. I can honestly believe you in that as well. And we'll see what Tony Khan thinks coming out of the pay-per-view. While I do think Storm Mercedes could be the bigger match, it's what Tony Khan thinks is going to be the bigger match. And that's why I don't know who's going to win that match between Toni Storm and Deonna Purrazzo. I would love to see Toni Storm come out of it and have that set up. But it wouldn't surprise me if he wants to set up Storm versus Mercedes somewhere else. Now, also, let's add into the factors that, we got Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter hanging around that need to be cleared sooner than later, based on the fact that it was a year now. It's been 9 months since Hayter's been out. And having that, there could be a possibility that Hayter could show up on Sunday. There's very much possibility. There's a possibility Baker could show up on Sunday. There's a million possibilities for a lot of these matches, and I think that's what the biggest selling point of AEW Revolution is going to be.